Final step. So we went to Lowe's and Home Depot today, but picked up the tile for the faces or the risers of the stairs and some of the materials we'll be using. We picked up a 1/4 inch hardy backer board. It's not in the shot right now, but that needs to be cut to size. It's the quick snap, score a line. Definitely recommend applying hardy backer board. It's the proper way of doing it. And then these are the other materials that we're using. You need a grouting sponge, you need your grout. Picked up a tile, Satori. We went with a Hudson Brilliant White Glossy. I believe it's a 3x12. Have the trowel, 1/8 inch spacers, premium mortar that's already mixed. Since we don't really need that much, that's double what we need in square footage wise. And then to apply the hardy backer board, you're gonna need the backer on. I went with a 1.5 inch, and this has the actual bit that you need to install these as well. So we decided to tile the risers, and there's a reason for that. We don't want to have to be fixing scruffs and just the normal wear and tear and abuse that you get on the risers and steps. And we wanted the tops the way they were. They came out beautiful. Painted the sides a satin white, but we are going to tile them, and I'm going to show you guys how to properly install tile on the risers and what you should do, what you should avoid, and the steps needed and the materials needed. So we're going to start with the backer board, and got my measurement. Width, length, I got 6.5 by 34.25. Now remember, you need to take a 1/4 inch from each side, top, bottom, left, right. There's a reason for that. So 1/4 inch from your measurement, each side. So 1/4 equals a half, 1/4 equals a half. Then you use that measurement, and that's what you cut your hardy board to. I got 6.5. 34.25. All right, so I went outside. Reason being, cement boards are dusty. They make a mess, but this one's very easy to cut, snap, get the size. I went with the hardy backer. It's a 1/4 inch. You don't want to go too thick. Again, stair risers, so you're adding 1/4 inch substrate over the wood, and that's to prevent flexing and cracking of the grout or cracking through the tile, depending on what tile you get. You want to strengthen that area as much as possible. Same thing with the 1/4 inch gaps, top and bottom specifically, which you will fill with silicone later. There's a reasoning for that. That pressure on the top step and the bottom would crack the tile or crack the grout. So 1/4 inch, you can apply thin set or not to the back side or not, but this can accept thin set for the tile, and it's ready and rough enough to hold the tile to the surface. This can be scored and cut with a razor blade. So one thing I highly recommend is using the same tape measure measured inside, outdoors as well. Do not switch tape measures. Sometimes the inaccuracies between the way that this is mounted at the end there cause false measuring. So what I did was I marked off where I needed to be. I've been using this T-square, put tape on it so I could get my measurements and come out, and it's easy to remember, easy to apply. Another cool thing about the hardy backer is it's got a grid pattern on it, makes it a little bit easier. But once you translate your measurements to the hardy backer board, you're able to use a razor blade to thinly score it and then cut up or break upwards. It's easy as that, people. See that? Easy. Don't forget to measure every step. Sometimes the first one can be a little bit higher or lower than the rest, but there is a code to the remainder of the risers and the height that they are supposed to be at. But again, it's all dependent if somebody followed code or not. But my measurements are on point. They're all 6.5, 34.25. That allows a 1/4 inch gap around the entire perimeter. Just cut, just lightly mount it in there, but get the idea. Once I put the spacer, 1/4 inch spacer under the bottom, you'll see there'll be a big enough gap to allow 1/4 inch all the way around. Let me go cut 5 more. All right, all the backer boards are cut to size. It's a 1/4 inch around all perimeters. What I will do is show you how the screws are mounted, exactly what the actual screw location should be, and what I do to get that 1/4 inch gap at the bottom before I mount the first. So I went with backer-on screws. Definitely recommended for hardy backers. You can see 1 5/8 is what I went with. I would have preferred 1 1/4, but of course, they don't always have a stock of them. So I went with the 1 5/8. It does get through the hardy backer board and the substrate, and there's nothing behind that can damage, so should be good. So everyone knows hardy backer has a actual procedure for mounting the screws. So they should not be any closer than 2 inches to the corners. It should be at 3/4 of an inch in from the edges and every 8 inches. So what I do is I pre-mark my boards. There it is, those are my edges. I want my screws here and here. That's 2 inches from the edge, 3/4 of an inch in, 8 inches apart. Screws also come with their own bit. Highly recommend you use it unless you have a better hardened steel version, but this works sufficient to drive these screws flush. So what I did was I got these 1/8 inch spacers for the towel I'm using. I double stacked them to give me that gap that I need at the bottom, plus the top, but top obviously, it's gravity, that's all I need. Okay, and that's what it looks like. It's all said and done. Screws have been strategically mounted as per Hardy Board's recommendations. On the top stud, I did a little something different. There's a reasoning for that, but I doubled up and put a few extras. But that's what we're looking at. Got my gaps set right, got my screws set in their proper locations. We are now ready to tile. So I've made my markings on the tile. Use marker, don't use pencil. It will rub off. You won't be able to see your markings. What I'm using to cut the tile is this. It's got a specific tile cutting blade on it. Has to be a little moist, has to be wet, so make sure you pick the right blade and be very careful with your safety gear. Update. Got everything pre-cut. That's the most important thing you can do, and also the most time-consuming part of the whole process. Cut and also kind of work them into where they meshed with other tiles. Kind of have to play with it a little bit. It's almost like a puzzle piece, but this is a little nerve-wracking. After your first day of cutting, you're kind of like, am I gonna be able to do this? Just keep pushing through, it's not bad. And I did it with the, angle grinder. So if you do it with a actual tile saw, it's much easier. I don't know if you have the skill to be able to do that. Luckily, I still have steady hands, so I'm able to do it. But let's get to the next step. And I ordered just right. I ordered 15% over what my original square footage was, and that allowed me enough for these cuts with 2 pieces off there. And this is how I start applying the tiles. Stairs have been taped. Use some plastic trash bags. I think 3 of them made enough for all the stair faces, and we're ready to start applying. Also helps tremendously to have a laser. All right, again, I'm using, I don't know how to pronounce that, but Mapai, ready to use mortar, premium mortar, solid stone. I went with a 3/16 groove. Did not need 1/4 because of the size of the tile I've cut down, but you want to make sure that you have 85% coverage with your mortar. So you want to apply it with the flat end and then use the grooved end. Smooth, straight lines, no circles. And as you can see, I've placed my laser line right down the center. Right down that width gap that I need for a grout line. And placement of the first rows in. Like I said, try and get 85% coverage with your mortar. Press firmly. I like to give them just a little light tap. Place the spacers in and adjust accordingly. So I pulled the spacers, but can't grout till tonight, this afternoon, roughly 24 hours. So I finished just at around 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna start grouting at around 4 o'clock. I'll give it the full 24 hours to cure. I also got these at Home Depot. They're called N Trim. They're made by Schluter Systems. BW80, this one's the white. But I am trimming these, see the width of steps, to cover the expansion gaps on the top and bottom. They come in 8-foot lengths, and I believe they're like $6, $7 a pop, but easy to cut. You also have to cut a portion of this depending on how deep your tile and mortar went, but mine did not go that deep, so I had to take a portion of that off, and then it sets in there with the silicone, and I'm also using some adhesive. Okay, so you want to cut and adjust your trim according to each specific space that it's going in beforehand. You're not gonna leave it in during the grouting process. All right, so today we're gonna get started on grouting. We need a bucket, clean water, grouting sponge, grout choice, whatever color, grouting float. Of course, you gotta mix your grout with water, so I'll be doing that shortly. And putting the grout. So we should know the basic premise of grouting with your grout float. Fill it in, have your wet sponge ready to wipe off the excess and clean it up. I believe you have, I think 3 hours later after grouting, you'll get a haze. You have to clean that haze within that 3-hour window, otherwise it'll be very hard to get off afterwards. But. Okay, now that the grout process is completed, you wanna constantly monitor your water in your bucket, change it, fresh, clean water. I like to, every 30 to 40 minutes or so, come back and give it a wiping for the next 3 hours. Just a quick wipe, don't dig, don't push into the grout lines, just to get the hazing off of the tile surface. About an hour and a half, I like to pull the tape on the steps and obviously clean up any grout that I don't want in areas that I don't want, specifically the compression and expansion joints, tops and bottoms. It looks like a mess right now, but this will all be vacuumed up. It's all loose. It's not stuck to the steps. And I could also assess if anything did get stuck to the steps. Now it's time to remove it. Go around the edges that are going to be, you know, the expansion joints and scrape up any of that excess grout before it gets too hard, and then vacuum it out. That's to not disturb the rest. About 2 hours in, I have cleaned out all the excess grout and those upper and lower joints, the 1/4-inch joints. I've installed, temporarily mocked up the trim. Reason being, if I have to make any adjustments, I'd rather do it now. But I've wiped the grout down numerous times. Still got a couple more times to go, but this is what we're currently at. And we are done. There's still some spacers left under the edge trim. That's just to give it a good seal where I used a good bonding agent, glue. You can use any type of really strong adhesive to apply that. I ran a bead along the inside of the trim and then pushed it flush up against the step. But that is the finished product. Caulking has been done on the sides. And this just goes to prove that anyone can do this. I think it cost us roughly $247, right, Vincentina? And that's without the tool. If you need to buy the angle grinder and the cutting blade, that's an additional $100, but not a bad upgrade. Very sophisticated looking in how to properly tile the risers of your steps. Thank you for watching.